Hey guys, Rich here from Trollline Fishing. So today I'm doing a video on cheapest and not so cheap trolling setups. I see this question asked a few times a year. So I'm literally gonna give you like a cheap bare bones trolling package, rod and reel. Line, choose what you want. People like braid, people like mono, people like this, people choose your own line. So I'll give you two cheap setups, like super cheap, like I'm talking like under 150 Canadian. Everything's gonna be in Canadian dollars. I'm gonna put links down below to everything. First off, Canadian Tire is like our best friend here. So for example, there is Shimano TDR trolling rods, $69.99. Beautiful setup for a muskie. Just the rod is $70, so $69.99, 13% tax. We get screwed here for that, but you gotta pay it. And then there is the Shakespeare ATA trolling reel with line counter for $49.99. So listen, this is bare bones. Like you're looking at, $110 pre-tax. So approximately, $130 taxes in. This is going to be your bare bones package that, if you're not somebody who trolls all the time, big baits and, it might even withstand big baits, but this is just basic. You control your double 10s, your double 9s, your double 8s, your spinner baits, all of that. You can do that no problem for under $150. Then again at Canadian Tire, there's another rod reel combo, not combo, but there's the Shimano Sojourn trolling rod, which is, I believe, $69.99. Again, I'm not 100% sure. I don't remember fully. And then there's an Okuma Mada reel, it's called. It's on Amazon. I'm gonna put the link below again for all of these. That worked out to like 64 something, 64.83 or something, and if you have Amazon Prime, free shipping, so $65. So for $150, again under $150, you can get a very cheap setup. Once again, this is Canadian dollars if you're unaware, so CAD, not American, Canadian. So for under 150 Canadian, you can get a cheap bare bones package. Like I said, it's nothing crazy, but you know what? It will do depending on how much you troll. Like I know a few guys, they cast all day. When it's time for a snack or it's time for lunch, hook up their trolling stuff and go. You know what? You might not need $700 worth of trolling gear and such, but some guys want to protect the investment. I call the lures investments because some of them are that expensive. So I understand if they want to spend a few extra bucks. Now I'm going to bring you to two packages that are a little bit more expensive. And then I'll give you a third one, which is not expensive. It's expensive, but it's worth it, I find. So the next one is any Mojo Muskie trolling rod. So they have an 8'6" and a 9-foot length. So the 8'6" length is one piece, 9-foot is two piece. So the two piece is quite nice because it's easier to store in most boats, especially if you don't have storage holders that hold up to 8'6" or 9 feet. It's beautiful to have the two pieces and you go. Now, I'm geared up with an 8'6" and then a Takota 500 or 600. I gotta remember now, but I'm a lefty, so whatever it is. But then I would pair it up with a Takota. So you're looking at $299 and $299 or $329, depending on the series of Takota reel you get. So you're looking at a roughly, so $299 taxes in is $335, 13, 26, 39. Am I looking at that right? No, sorry. It's 38 and change. 338 and change locked in. The reel you're looking at anywhere between 338 and 360. So you're looking at like that combined, just rod and reel, you're at roughly $700. So now you're not in a cheap game anymore, but I will say that these will withstand a lot more. I've pulled 20-inch baits on them and I've had no issues with the Takota. I won those all on Muskie Trader Canada. If you don't know Muskie Trader Canada, check it out. It's a great page. You can get stuff very cheap if you win. I'm a lucky asshole, so I've won a little, just a little. Some people hate me. I win a lot. Then the other setup is the 9-foot, but with the Okuma cold water, 400 or 500 series again. You're still looking at another $600-700 on a setup again. That's top line though, and I would say realistically those are for big guy, like big trollers. Like if you like to troll all day, all night, and you want to keep your personal stuff safe, that's what you're going to go for. you know, with the amount that me and Steve troll and the amount that we do, like I find that it was up till recently, I had way better trolling gear than I did casting gear. And then recently with a few wins on Muskie Trader, I won a Skix rod, beautiful rod. I kept that. Even won actually I've won twice, the sling rod, the Mojo Muskie tournament sling rod. I had won that rod too, beautiful rod. But yeah, I ended up winning the Skix, which I absolutely really give it like a 10 out of 10. I love the design of it, the lightweight of it. 9'6" is a little bit of a pain in the ass at times, but it's quite nice. But I've always had a better trolling setup. And then obviously musky leashes, if you want to get the best, you get Brotherhood baits. Or if you really want, I would look towards just making your own. You just get 200-pound wire, like threaded wire like that with 2 clamps on the end, and it's the same thing, but you got to make it now, right? So if you're on a budget, it's the best way to do it. And then there's one final option. I have never done it, and I would look to in the future, because I've talked to a lot of guys who have, and that's a custom trolling rod. So from a local guy, anyone local. I don't know any names. I'm not in any sort of sponsors with any of the guys I've named or companies I've named, Shimano, or I'm not with any of those. So these are just personal opinions and just cheap as I could find, or stuff I know that's very expensive. So for example, the rods, if you get a custom made rods, you can get extra heavy. They pull everything and anything, and they don't break. Guides are always good. The rod's beautiful, lightweight, but has that backbone when it needs to. So yeah, keep your options open. Like, I think that's a great way too. I love supporting local businesses. Like I prefer to go to Gagnon's over sale if I can, right? Depending on what the item is, or, vice versa like that. And, supporting somebody directly, whether it's buying baits right from the bait maker if they sell it, or, ways you can support them in that sense. But yeah, anyways, so that was just 4 quick setups, 2 very cheap, 2 very expensive. My opinion, somewhere in the middle. You do not need $700 setup. You don't really want a $150 setup. Finding something in the middle, I think, is good enough. And I think if you put too much power on these, or it's not too much power, but if you have too much of an upper hand on these fish, I think it takes away a little bit of the excitement. One of the most exciting thing was I landed my 49-inch on Scugog with an Alpha Big Game spinning reel, trolling a single 7. It was a 2-piece spinning reel. I had never musky fished before. It was a crazy fight, and it was a lot of fun. So yeah, don't take it out of musky fishing. If you like videos like this, make sure you comment down below, like, subscribe, and stay tuned for another upload coming soon.